Hello and welcome to the session on project integration management. Project integration management is the first knowledge area in PMP course. As a part of learning objectives, what we will learn from this section is an understanding of project integration management and what it is all about. We will try to get an insight into how the projects are selected and what are the activities performed before selecting the right project. Then we will study the various processes in integration management knowledge area, which are develop project charter, develop project management plan, manage and control project work, perform integrated change control, and close project or phase. We will study the various inputs and outputs of these processes and the tools and techniques used in these processes. On reading integration management, the first thing that comes to the mind is, what does it mean? When we say cost management, we know what it would be all about. When we say time management, we know what it would be all about because the terms themselves are self-explanatory. But what does this integration mean? Now let's understand this with a story. The story in the day of a life of a project manager. There was a project manager in an IT company. He was very skilled in project management and of course he was PMP certified. One fine morning when he reached office, he was informed that one of the team members is on an unplanned leave. The project manager got tensed because that resource was handling a critical development which was supposed to be delivered the next week. He immediately used his project management skills, did an analysis, and found that he might miss the deadline of the deliverable. On top of that, if he misses the deadline, there would be a penalty. The project manager is in a big problem. He immediately decided to inform the sponsor and sent him an email. He now went to the PMO and asked them if they could help him in getting a similar kind of resource from some other project. The PMO understood the concerns and provided him a replacement. Now, the project manager is happy that his project will not lose track. So now, the project manager did so many things to solve the problem, and unknowingly he touched several knowledge areas. Let's see how. He managed to avoid missing the deadline. This is time management. He managed to avoid the cost overrun. This is cost management. He managed to avoid the possible penalty. This is risk management. He informed the sponsor through an email. This is stakeholder management. Now, combining all this is what is called as integration management. So integration management is combining all the other knowledge areas and making them work in tandem. Project integration management thus includes the processes and activities to identify, define, combine, unify, and coordinate the various processes and project management activities within the project management process groups. Basically, this knowledge area encompasses all other knowledge areas and brings them into close coordination to ensure completion along with managing the stakeholder expectations and meeting the project objectives. So that's the whole concept of project integration management. Now, why do we manage integration? Having understood what is project integration management, you might already have made out as to why we need it. We need it to bind all the 47 project management processes together. All of us who would have already managed a project will appreciate the fact that No activity in a project can work in isolation. Every activity is affected by or affects some or other activity or gives rise to another activity. Suppose we have a scenario where some changes have been requested by a customer in the middle of the project execution. Being a project manager, will you go and just do the change in the system? The answer is no. You will do an impact analysis of the change, write down the effects it will have on schedule, time, and cost. Then you need to take a buy-in from the change control board and then communicating the team. So integration management helps here in determining how to handle a change with appropriate communications. We also do integration management to save time and cost of the project. Let's see how. A project manager keeps on observing the plan to see if there is any scope of improvement, whether he or she can make some activities run in parallel to reduce time, or whether he can reuse some of the earlier developed things to save time and thus save cost. Also, integration management would help in getting the stakeholders involved at the right point in time and manage their expectations. It also helps in identifying a problem early in the project and find a solution to it. Like in the introductory example, though integration management, project manager could analyze the gravity of the problem and acted on time to find a solution. It also helps in making the project results visible through various parameters which are measured in the executing process group. Through integration management, a project manager can use relevant resources early in the project. Now, who manages integration? In the last section, while I was explaining the concept of stakeholder, I had showed you that a typical pictorial representation. I had also mentioned that a project is generally affected by the project manager, project team members, and sponsor. Some other stakeholders can as well influence the outcome of a project, but that's not relevant for us. So likewise, project integration management is the responsibility of project manager, project team members, and project sponsor. Remember, project sponsor can either be an individual or an organization. Now let's see how each one of them contribute to integration management. A project manager integrates all the 47 processes in PMP and makes sure they work in coordination. Team members contribute by concentrating on completing tasks, activities, and work packages. You will learn about the concept of work package and activities later. For the sake of understanding here, we just need to know that work packages are subdivided into various activities. Since a project is the baby of the project sponsor, he protects the project from changes and losing resources and thus maintains the integrity of the project. How do we manage integration? An effective project integration management involves 6 main processes that are as follows. We will learn about these in details later in this session, but let me give you a brief introduction of each process. First, develop project charter. Project charter refers to a statement of objectives in a project. This statement also sets out detailed project goals, roles, and responsibilities, identifies the main stakeholders, and the level of authority of a project manager. Second, Develop project management plan. It is very essential for a project to have a purposeful plan for its effective execution.